Wonderful. We will begin the press conferences today ahead of Sunday's second round matchup with Mississippi State. For our media in attendance, please remember to raise your hand and a mic will be brought to you. If you have a question, please state your name and affiliation as well. And for those joining via Zoom, please use the raise your hand functionality and we will call on you. We'll begin with our student athletes from Mississippi State, Anastasia Hayes, Romani Parker, and Debrisha Poe. Any questions for our student athletes?
Andrew Mentok, Associated Press. This question's for all of you, but I wonder, this being your third game here this week, you've obviously been practicing the court. If you feel like you've kind of, even though you're playing against Notre Dame on their home court, if you kind of feel like you have a comfortability and familiarity with playing here.
Anastasia, we can begin with you.
Okay. Yeah, I would say we're very comfortable on this court. We've been here for a few days, so we've gotten to, notice the rim, be around the rim, and honestly, I think we really like this court. But yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, so we've been here for a few days, so we're real comfortable, like she said, around the court, around the rim and everything. So we just got to continue to bring that same energy, same mojo we've been having these past few games. So, yeah.
And I guess picking off what they both said, like they said, we've been here, we're familiar with it. So I'm excited for tomorrow, honestly.
Tyler Horka, Blue and Gold Illustrated. For anyone who wants to answer this, I guess all you guys, a little bit of a different matchup against Notre Dame. Obviously, they're a little bit bigger than Creighton. They have the bigs inside. So I'm just curious how difficult that is to go from one game where you're playing a team that likes to shoot a lot of threes and play the perimeter game, and now playing against a team that likes to go inside, and then how well you guys feel like you match up against a team that's a little bigger too.
I mean, they may be a little bit bigger, but we're a lot faster. We'll have to pressure them up a little bit more, but we've played against bigs all year, playing in the SEC, playing against teams like them, so we're familiar with it, and I feel like this is a challenge that we can handle, definitely.
Yeah, she said it all. Like, we're real familiar. We've played against teams who are big in the post, and we familiar, and we ready, so.
Any other questions for our student athletes?
This is probably a better one for all you guys that you guys might have some different thoughts on, but it seems like you guys have embraced this underdog role. Obviously, your head coach isn't afraid to go out there and say, hey, nobody's really believed in us, but you guys believe in yourself. Does that all come from him? Does it come from you guys? Just how do you embrace that kind of Cinderella role that you guys have taken on?
We've had the motto all year, why not us? And, I think we've held it to it. Coming in, we seen our name get called, and we knew we were the underdog then. So just having that underdog mentality pushes us. We believe in each other, and we've been believing it all year. And I know that we all believe it, all of us on the court, all of us on the team, everybody around us, we all believe it. And if we all trust in each other and keep believing in one another and being positive and just having fun, that's what we've been doing. I feel like we can go really far.
And we have a question in the back from Zoom.
Yes, we'll now take a question from Zoom from Robbie. Robbie. Robbie, can you hear us?
I can now. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Robbie. Thank you.
Okay. This is for Anastasia. And Annie, I know last year was tough for you and for the team with the numbers that you had and all of that. What's this experience been like to have a chance to play in this tournament and now have a chance to make a run here?
I would say this experience has been just amazing. I'm so blessed that for all my teammates and Coach Sam and everybody who's pushed us to get this far. And, last year wasn't the best year, and that's why I came back to be able to make it in March, but not just make it, but go far and make a run. And so we've been able to do that this year, and this year's just been fun, and I'm so excited. And, it's my last year, and I'm so excited that I actually got the opportunity to play my last year in March Madness, and this was the goal for me, coming back and returning this year and being able to play around people and be around teammates who are really good and who can keep me motivated and positive. I'm just very blessed that I that we got this opportunity.
Any other questions?
If I can follow up on that?
Yes, please go ahead.
Sorry. This team, too, is made up of a lot of players from a lot of different places, transfers, freshmen. You got a brand-new coaching staff. You're kind of the veteran of the group. I mean, how have y'all been able to kind of mesh this whole group together and become a real unit this year, especially late in the year?
I mean, we're all like sisters. Like, we all have fun. Like, teams have their ups and downs, but we're all, like, we're close, and we believe in each other, and we trust in each other, and Coach Sam believes in us, and, yeah, I would say that.
Any other questions for our student athletes?
You mentioned your speed earlier and kind of how you want to take advantage of that. I'm kind of curious, without giving away any game plan secrets, if that's something with a team that's kind of adjusting to life without their main ball handler, if you feel like you need to kind of challenge them with that, especially defensively, knowing that they're kind of getting used to kind of a new system and people who aren't necessarily accustomed in that role.
Can you, like, repeat that question for me a little bit?
Definitely. So I know Notre Dame's without Olivia Miles, who is their primary ball handler throughout the year, and they've kind of adjusting to players like Sonia Citrone and people like that who are kind of in that facilitator role, bringing the ball up. And I wondered, you mentioned your speed earlier, if that's something you feel like you need to really pressure them and try and challenge them in that way early to see how they handle it.
I mean, yeah, we're a fast-paced team, but just I feel like we are going to have to focus on our speed instead of in pressuring the ball, but also rebounding is going to be a key for us tomorrow.
Wonderful. Anastasia, Romani, Debrisha, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll continue today's second-round media availability ahead of Sunday's matchup with Mississippi State head coach Sam Purcell. Again, for our media in attendance, please remember to raise your hand, and a microphone will be brought to you. Please state your name and affiliation. And for those joining via Zoom, please use the raise your hand function. Coach will begin with an opening statement.
Wow, excited to live another day, survive and advance. And again, it's just a truly honor. And we're excited about tomorrow. I talked about it when I got here, when we found out we're playing here at Notre Dame. Sorry, I'm breathing heavy because we ran up the steps. There's a lot of steps before you get up here. But again, we're just excited. This is a great place for women's basketball. I have so much respect for this program, and especially Neil Ivy. Obviously, I've known her back from my days as an assistant at Louisville. I can't speak enough good things about her and her character. Her son, Jaden, I remember when I was here 8 years ago, watching him shoot basketballs before the games, and she's out there as a mom rebounding for him and just pouring into him, and then just who she is as a person. And it's awesome to see that she was given this head coaching job here, and then obviously her son getting drafted. It was just a really cool story from behind the scenes. So again, we're excited, but we also know the challenge that lies ahead. And like I told my team, we're just in the hotel room right now, prepping, getting after it like no other, and trying to put the best game plan so we can, do our part for tomorrow.
Questions for Coach Purcell?
Tyler Horka, Blue and Gold Illustrated. Sam, these two teams met 5 years ago for a national championship, and now 5 years later, kind of different scenario. Mississippi State's been through a few head coaches. Notre Dame is on a new head coach as well. So I'm just curious what you make of 5 years later, these two teams being back matched up again in March Madness, and just kind of the different circumstances that come with it this time. Yeah, for me, the storyline is just how cool that women's basketball survived both programs. Notre Dame has had their bumps from, obviously they had a great run, but they had a little stretch there where they had some hiccups, but are back. Mississippi State had that run, and we had some hiccups. And I'm here to say we back, all right? So it's just really cool how, again, where a community and a university pours into women, and most importantly, women's basketball, that you can put a product that can get back on the national stage and be great for women's basketball. And both of these wins that you've had this week, you could feel the emotion. You've seen how much it's meant to the program. But what would this one mean on their home floor? They've got that number 3 next to their name, obviously all these All-Americans and whatnot. To beat a team like this on this stage, what would that mean to you guys? A lot. We're in year one, we're all about trying to make as many positive statements as we can. And again, when you have so much respect for your opponent, like we did last night for Creighton, we understand the work and preparation goes in place because those programs are excellent for a reason. So to answer your question, it would be nice, but again, we know we have a lot of work to get to that point.
Andrew Mentak, Associated Press. Going back to the 2018 National Championship game, I wonder if, from your perspective, not being here, but watching that game, what you kind of remember about that game. Well,
I think there's several moments in college women's basketball. I was fortunate now that I've taken Mississippi State. We had one of them, the shot by Morgan, who beats UConn's 111-game streak. Is that right? I don't want to be misspoken. 111 streak. And then Arike hitting that corner 3. I think it's just something that when you show the highlights and the beauty of the women's game, that was a moment that is always going to be in that reel. So you would appreciate that moment, and I just would like it not to happen to me.
You've touched on over the week kind of getting, the friendly faces you've met here and stuff like that. Yeah. I've kind of wondered if you feel like, having about to play your third game here, if you feel like there's like kind of a comfortability playing here, even though you're going against the home team tomorrow, if you feel like you've adjusted to it.
No, there is. I have nothing but great things about this community. I did not go to my Irish pub last night. I had too much film, so I don't know if the service is going to be the same, but I am going today because there's great cheesecake. Unbelievable cheesecake. So I got to have that tradition. So I'll find out that part. But again, it's just the people who work here, the hotel workers, everybody's invested in watching on TV, and it's really cool. It's first class. One thing I talk about, I love living in Starkville, is there's a southern hospitality that's missing around the world. To be this far north as it's snowing today, there's a great warmth and soul about the people here. So it's been pleasant. And my team is very appreciative of this opportunity.
We have another question from Zoom. Go ahead, Rob.
Hey, Sam. Robbie Falk, Starkville Daily News. The offense, especially since that second half of the Illinois game, has just really seems to find its real rhythm. What have you seen from that group, or I guess on that side of the floor, that's made the offense so good and so, I guess, fluid in the last couple of games?
Yeah, no, I just think it's a commitment to pace. Those losses that we had, LSU and Texas A&M, we just got stagnant. We went too slow. We've talked about when we're bad, we don't push the ball up. It doesn't matter if we score in transition or run a set. It's just a vibe. It's a pace that we're trying to play the game. And I feel like to answer your question, that's what you saw in these last two games. It was just a commitment to get out fast. And if the opportunity presents itself to score, we'll take it. But if not, then let's flow into our offense a lot faster. And then attacking the press. People pressed us too. So if you want to make us passive, then attack the score. So it's been fun to watch.
I was going to follow up too about Annie. She's playing a little different role than she played last year. She was asked to do a whole lot on that offense last year, and you put her in a little bit different position, and she's just kind of flourished there. How important has she been to kind of mending this team together, full of transfers and, a freshman in Debris Chapeau and things like that, and new coaching staff? How important has she been to kind of pulling this roster together, you think?
Yeah, she's been huge. I sold a vision with her at the beginning. I told her, hey, Annie, I know you led the SEC in scoring last year, but this year with the pieces we're bringing in, I need you to trust me because what you're going to have success this year is more than points. It's going to be wins. And I asked her to do some other things that she hasn't necessarily done. I said, the good Lord has blessed you with a speed that cannot be denied. So first and foremost, I need you to get after it like no other. And everybody who tunes in will watch you and can't keep your eyes off of you because you can get after it like no other. And then her willingness to share the ball. Now with her assist, this has been a career high, correct? All right, I got the best SID over here, co-signing to help me out. He keeps me in line. But she has a career high in assists this year, which again is a testimony of her. And that's who I am as a coach. A lot of people only write about points and rebounds, but you know what? She can flat out pass the ball. And then last night you saw that they had to pick their poison. They didn't want to guard her, and she made them pay. So when you have a player that can do the triple threats with playing defense, setting up others, and have joy, but also ultimately too being able to score the ball, it makes me a lot better coach.
Anthony Anderson, South Bend Tribune. Congratulations, Coach. Can you fill in on the status of former Notre Dame player Alasia Hayes? She's on the roster, but I see she hasn't played since December.
Yeah. No, she's just a thing with school. She's on the team and everything, but yeah, she just didn't make the road trip.
Any other questions for Coach?
I just want to go back to what you were saying with Niele. Obviously, you being at Louisville for so long and her being at Notre Dame pretty much her whole life. Just kind of how cool is it to clash with her on a stage like this? And how well did you get to know her? I know you said you saw her shooting with Jaden back then, but just as two assistants to make it to this point, just how cool is that?
No, I think it's cool because, I'm not going to speak for her, but I think she'd probably say the same. There's a mutual respect. I think anytime you come across in this business a grinder, there's a thing that we don't have to talk to each other, but we know how good you are and we respect your craft and who you are. And then, like I said, a lot of what we do when I was an assistant is my eyes tell the truth. And that point I was mentioning when I was at shoot-arounds, I just liked her. I just like who she is. And then again, just her story with her son and just being a fan from outside, because obviously we're competitors, but at the end of the day, we're people. And every time I'm out and I see her recruiting, just out in person, I can't speak on how much class she goes about the game, who she is as a person, and then obviously she's an ultimate competitor just like myself.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Coach.
All right, thank you.
We will continue today's second round media availability ahead of Sunday's matchup with Notre Dame student athletes Cass Prosper and Kylie Watson. Again, a reminder for our media in attendance, please raise your hand if you have a question. A microphone will be brought to you. Please state your name and affiliation. And for those joining via Zoom, please use the raise your hand functionality and we will call on you. So we'll begin with questions for Cass and for Kylie.
Tyler Horka, Blue and Gold Illustrated. I have a question for both of you guys. Seems like you guys are in a unique position where you're a 3 seed, but you're playing without Liv and without Dara, obviously, as well. So what's it kind of been like to have something to prove as a 3 seed? Because I feel like a lot of times it's kind of a given that a 3 seed should advance at least through to the Sweet 16. But you guys are in a position where without those two players, you kind of have a lot to prove. What's that been like?
Cass, we can start with you.
Yeah, I would say we've been going through a lot of adversity, but honestly, like, we have something to prove, but also we've proved it the whole season. We're missing 2 big players, 2 key players, but we're always going to compete, always going to play our game, and I have no doubt that we'll still be okay. We have them on the side cheering us on, giving us energy, so that's great.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Liv and Dara are huge pieces to the puzzle, and just they've been so impactful to the success we've had thus far in the season. One thing about this team is that we love each other and we play for each other. Now we have even more something to play for, and that is Dara and Liv. And just kind of what Cass talked about, like going through that adversity, I feel like made us stronger as a team and brought us closer. And I feel like once we start getting into the groove of learning how to play without them, we should be good. And I feel like we were able to do that last game.
And then, Kylie, one for you. They have a center, Jessica Carter, who seems to be playing some of her best basketball right at the right time. What do you know about her game, and what are you going to do to go about kind of corralling her? Because it seems like a lot of what they do goes through her.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know much about her because obviously I played in the Pac-12 and the ACC, so I wasn't too familiar with the SEC, but just from watching the past 2 games, she's very physical, she's very talented, super athletic, so just kind of competing with her and also being physical and getting out and running in transition and kind of using our speed and being able to play and use the 3 big lineup that we have to kind of go against that.
Jeffrey Clark, Fighting Irish Wire. First, Cass, you've had quite the journey this season. You didn't start the season with the team, and now all of a sudden you're playing in the tournament. Just talk about your first NCAA tournament experience yesterday.
Yes, it's been great. It was really amazing. I think the fact that I have these amazing teammates with me makes it even greater. It's a big thing, a nice experience. I'm enjoying all of it. I'm really blessed to be here and to be going through all of this with my teammates, coaches. It's been amazing.
And Kylie, just kind of going off of that, have you done anything to prepare Cass or some of your younger teammates, saying that, that this is the tournament, this is a lot bigger than what we've done throughout the season? So how do you prepare your younger teammates for when the stakes are raised?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of the upperclassmen, or at least all of the girls that have been in the tournament before, tried to emphasize how important this is and how every game could be your last. So play these 40 minutes like they're the last 40 minutes you're going to play, because you never know when your season's going to come to an end. And just, like I said, playing for each other, like, just put it all out there, because you really don't know if it's going to be your last time.
Andrew Mentok, Associated Press. Cass, I just want to follow up on that last question. I think the biggest thing that kind of stands out by your game so far is that you just don't seem afraid. You're always very confident and assertive out there, even as your role has kind of increased lately. And I wonder where that confidence kind of comes from.
Probably just because I am a confident person, especially coming in halfway through the season. It's something that not everyone does, and just knowing that this is going to be a challenge, this is going to be hard, and going through this with the mindset that I'm here for a reason. Also, my family just always keeping me in check and giving me confidence throughout all of this. And my teammates obviously giving me confidence for sure.
Anthony Anderson, South Bend Tribune. Congratulations, ladies. Cass, can you discuss your brother a little bit, the relationship you guys have and how you push each other? And then also, to what level are you able to track each other? Your games the other day were at the same time. And then tomorrow it looks like you'll be able to see him a little bit. And then finally, what are your parents here? Or are they at his games, or are they split up, or what?
So my brother and I are very close. He watches my games. I watch his games. Since we've been young, we've been playing one-on-one against each other, just always being close. My parents actually went to see him Friday, and they're driving today or tomorrow to come see me. So they're kind of in between. They were so bummed that the game was at 3:30 and his game was at 2:45, so they couldn't make both. But yeah, they're in between both kids. They love basketball. They play basketball, so they're just enjoying the journey with us. It's really fun. Yeah.
Any other questions for our student athletes? Wonderful. Cass, Kylie, thank you both.
Thank you.
Wonderful. We'll finish today's second round media availability before Sunday's matchup with head coach Niele Ivey. For our media in attendance, please remember to raise your hand and a microphone will be brought to you. Please remember to state your name and affiliation. And for those joining via Zoom, please use the raise your hand functionality and we will call on you. We'll begin with an opening statement from Coach.
Well, super excited. Again, being a second round, advancing, it's always a dream for me. So really grateful for this moment, excited to embrace this moment, excited to play Mississippi State. And again, just felt like last night was just a really good, dominant performance from the team and looking forward to another 40 minutes to try to advance.
Questions for Coach Ivey?
Tyler Horka, Blue and Gold Illustrated. Niele, obviously you're playing an opponent that has a lot to prove, 11 seed, almost missed out on the tournament, had to play in the first 4. But it seems like you guys have a lot to prove too, even though you're at number 3, missing your starting backcourt duo. Just kind of, what is it like to be in a matchup in the round of 32 where you're playing the Cinderella, but you guys also have so much to prove because of the circumstances?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. Mississippi State is coming off of 2 great wins. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder, and we're playing with a chip on our shoulder. It's going to be an incredible athletic matchup. They have great size. They have great guards. It's going to be a fast-paced game. And, again, both of us they're both players, both programs haven't been into this point with the players that we have right now. And so both programs are going to be super excited to be able to compete tomorrow.
Sam Purcell was just in here and talking very highly about you. He says he remembers you rebounding for Jaden, who knows when it was, when he was at Louisville, obviously. Just curious how well you got to know him, and even if you didn't get to know him that well, just like how much you respect what he did at Louisville being there for so long. Yeah,
I think he's done an incredible job, taking over Mississippi State program, always one of the top assistants at Louisville, and you see the success that they've had for generations and decades, and I know he was part of that. He's a great recruiter. I don't know him really well, but I always felt like on the road in recruiting and just even matchups, he's always been super kind. And again, for them to have these 2 amazing victories says a lot about what he's doing in that program and how he's turned it around.
Jeffrey Clark fighting Irish Wire. Just looking at this matchup on paper, it looks like Sonia is your leading scorer, and then they've got Carter. You've got more of a backcourt scorer, and they have more of a middle scorer. So, in your objective opinion, is there either one that is better than the other, getting it from the backcourt or the front court?
No, I do think, their offense and their glue is Carter. I feel like she's an incredible post player. Very impressed by watching her in person and what I've watched on film. But her supporting cast, her guards, they're really, really tough. Great defenders. They can mix up their defenses. I thought they shot the ball really well here. In Purcell and the last couple games, they've shot lights out, and they have a lot of balance. They go deep in the bench, and they can do a lot of different things. And for me, Sony's kind of my all-purpose player. She does whatever we need. But I also think that we match what they have. We have great size. We have post players that create a lot of offense inside, and our guards are really good. So it's going to be fun. I feel like it's like an even matchup.
And what have you told Lauren and Kylie and Maddie about facing Carter, defending her, especially when she's trying to get her points, which seems like she does really well?
Yes. I talked a lot about, we watched a lot of film, but talking about you have to do your work early with her. I think she does a great job of having great timing, of getting a great position. She does a great job of ducking in, and it's a credit to her guards for getting the ball to her right when she's open. She has such presence. She's good off screen and rolls. She's good, again, one-on-one on the block. And what I've told our post, you have to do your work early. You have to make sure that she doesn't get a great position and seal you too deep. And we have to create good ball pressure. So it's hard for their guards to look in.
Anthony Anderson, South Bend Tribune. Hi, Niele. When I ask you about Cass, she just seems to play like a rambunctious puppy. She might lead you in air balls, but every time she comes back and makes a huge play after that. And the fact that she's still about 3 months from turning 18 years old, What did you think of her first NCAA tournament game and then also the way she's playing overall?
Yes, well, I actually just told her I'm so proud of her. I thought she came out with such great energy. She was ready. She's excited. She's the type of player that is born for these moments. She doesn't shy away from any moment, no matter how big it is, whatever the play is. Even at Louisville, she made the 2 free throws to the game at Louisville. She made 2 big free throws for her, so never shies away from the moment. And I was just really proud of the confidence that she had yesterday. And like you said, no matter what, she can go from a play. She doesn't carry on if she makes a mistake or miss a shot. She goes to the next play, and the next play she's going to play harder than the one before. So I couldn't ask for a better person on my team. She's incredible on and off the court. Is a perfect addition for what I'm building, and I'm just super grateful that she chose to come here and gift us with her talents.
Knowing this is going to be the last game in this building this season, do you have a message for the fans who have come out and supported this team this year?
Yes, thank you. My message is I'm full of gratitude for the energy that they brought this season. It was phenomenal. And then yesterday was exactly what I imagined. They were completely green. I know it was St. Patrick's Day, but their faces, their energy, they were so excited. They cheered from the beginning to the end. And I'm so grateful for that support. And it's what I've always prayed for, is to continue, Coach McGraw's legacy, but to continue bringing fans to support women and to support our program. So I'm excited to give them one last game for 40 minutes and looking forward to even building more community here and more support here with the program.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.